Oh my
Oh
God.
my
This is
God.
great.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I need to turn up my volume or something. You sound a little bit not as loud.
Well, I'm
It was me. There you go.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. Hold on one second. May write this.
Is this your main Christmas tree? Because it is beautiful.
It's not. It's just my office tree. I'll take a picture of the other one later. I'll tell you
It's
more
so
about it
pretty.
when we get into the episode. Do we want to go ahead and start?
Let's dive in, friend.
Okay. Welcome back to the Big Fucking Feelings podcast with Jenna and Ashley. It's the podcast where we process our emotions one snack, spiral, and seasonal meltdown at a time. Today we're talking about comfort foods and Christmas chaos, which is why I'm wearing this fancy hat here with the sequins, because nothing says holiday spirit quite like, casseroles and the annual tradition of pretending that everything is magical while low-key losing our shit. So pour something festive. Hide from your children if you wish. Let's talk comfort food, elf on the shelf trauma, questionable neighbor cookies, Christmas shopping in July, and why it's both a blessing and a curse. I have a lot to say on that. Ashley, we look so festive, and I'm so happy. Look at your pretty living room.
Fun. Today, I'm able to kind of look, I have a fireplace. It's all about cozy vibes today.
Yes, most definitely. And I'm actually still in my office, and this is my office tree that I started putting up during COVID because when I would get on our team meeting every morning, I wanted to feel festive. Now I do realize that it appears to be strobing. It does not appear that way in person, but it does look like that on camera. So if you're a YouTube watcher and you're prone to seizures, please just FYI, little fair warning there.
It's on fire. It's okay.
Right, exactly. The world is on fire, but my Christmas tree is actually not.
Can I just say, oh, first of all, are you a Christmas person? I feel like I know the answer to this, but officially on record,
Abso-fucking-lutely, yes, I am a Christmas person. There is nothing Scroogey about my Christmas. It has been magical for me since I was a wee tot, and, my mom just made it super magical, and I've carried on a lot of those traditions like she used to do. She's extra, like we've talked about this before, my mom is extra, and, consequently, I too am extra, and then my children are subsequently also extra, and my mom used to do like wrap a gift every year from Rudolph, one from Frosty, kind of a thing, and then Santa has his own handwriting.
yes.
It's a whole thing. And I do all of these things. I've carried all of these traditions on and I love them so much. And my kids have also really taken on all of that magic, which I think is super cool.
It is super cool. I think I not to diss on the dads at all, but I wonder if moms are just better at making Christmas magic happen than the dads are.
I think every Christmas movie ever made has been written by a woman.
Can we fact check that? That's a really interesting fact if that's true.
I'm sure that's not true at all, but I really do think that more than any women just tend to be all of the magical creatures, right? The Easter bunny, the Santa, whatever, the tooth fairy. I think we're born with that gene. It's just
Yeah.
it's part of the chromosome.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes. I definitely feel that I am a Christmas person. There were a couple of years where I was more of a Christmas bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to like dive into that, or we just leave that one alone and go years past? It's the ghost of Christmas past.
No, I'm willing to come clean. I think that the problem was that, like, as maybe some other single moms might really like, the process of learning to share the holiday just made my heart hurt. And I would just like, I just had no motivation to decorate or feel Christmassy the years that I wasn't having my kids for Christmas.
Yeah.
And like, there were days that I would like laying on this floor right here
Yeah.
crying, like just sobbing because I was so sad. But I think it was, divorce through the holidays is also kind of like that. So maybe it was like I was a Christmas divorce bitch or something, but
I mean, it's
yeah.
you get kind of that PTSD of and the sort of the discovery, the learning curve of being by yourself and not having the kids to share that magic with. Because at some point, we start adulting and it becomes all about the kids and making the magic, creating the magic for the kids. And when you feel like there's no reason to create that magic because they're not with you, it takes on a totally different meaning. And there's a reason why the holidays are so hard for so many people. It's not just about the debating politics over dinner and the long crowded shopping mall lines, in which, by the way, I avoid like the plague. I legitimately will not drive into Green Hills unless I am forced between November 1 and January 31, essentially, because I don't want to deal with mall traffic. Yeah, I just think, there's so much about the holidays, and for people who grew up loving the holidays and have lost their parents, for example. There are so many things that weigh heavily around the holiday season. And so hopefully, if you're listening to this and you are experiencing any of that, this will be a little pick me up episode, because we are going to talk about some really fun stuff now that we've been Debbie Downer for a few minutes.
That's right. We're not gonna stay in this lonely sadness. We're gonna go full happy Grinch.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I love it. Yeah, fuck all the bah humbug shit. I have my trusty Christmas mug with this sweet little cardinal on it that reminds me of Connecticut, where I grew up. There's just something about this that really reminds me of it. And of course, per usual, it's not filled with coffee, it's filled with wine. We all knew that.
yes, we
But
did. We knew that was coming.
yeah, I mean, I'm masking it mildly with the fact that the inside of the mug is already red, but
So is the wine your comfort food? Is that wait, you're drinking? We haven't toasted? Ma'am, this is a huge offense.
I'm sorry. I just did the biggest faux
Wow.
pas. Yes, you're right. I totally took a sip. I lost myself in the post divorce talk, and I and I took a sip of wine early, and I'm
Wow.
so sorry. What are you drinking today? Is that tea?
This
I'm
is
changing the
fucking
subject.
tea. This is fucking tea.
Yeah, it's
The
good
Grinch is back, baby.
fashion tea. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just fucked up our toast.
It's okay.
But you know what I do? I do have a toast, but I'm going to save it for later on in the episode after I've divulged some crazy stuff that just happened post Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's fair.
Um,
I wanna just ask because I'm starting to realize maybe I didn't understand the assignment as per usual. I don't have a comfort food, I have a comfort item. Is that a problem?
oh, no, let's do it. I have comfort food, but that is typically my comfort. So please talk to me about your comfort item. Tell me
Well, are we good to move on to that? Look at me, I'm like a mess now because 'cause I've not understood the assignment.
the anxiety.
I'm failing the class.
Anxiety is filtering in.
I have a blanket here, and I'm just, like, touching it because it helps me calm down.
Well, then we should definitely talk about your comfort item.
Okay.
Let's get you to the most comfortable spot possible, and then we can talk about Christmas chaos. Let's do
I
comfort.
love that. Okay, so this blanket is not really part of it, but I do like the texture a lot. It's got a little ribbing on it.
I love that.
So that's fun. But my actual comfort item is a candle um, because it's, Christmas and this one smells like pine. I
Yeah.
just got it. It was 2 for $10 at Target the other day. So I got these 2 pine candles and now my house smells so cozy and amazing. And if you've ever read about the magical art of hygge, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
icky.
I thought it was hygge. Like I thought it was like I weigh in on this if you're
I'm pretty sure it's Higgy, but Hooga sounds so much
I
more
think
fascinating to
I
me.
think I Googled it once and it said hygge, so I'm gonna say hygge,
Great.
but hygge is how it's spelled, right?
It's
Um,
Hyggge.
yeah,
Yes? Higgy,
and
yeah.
I'm really big on that during the holidays especially, but throughout the entire winter season just because it's so dark here in Nashville, like 4:30 PM it gets dark and I can't. The seasonal affective disorder gets me every year. So, the whole, like, lighting candles and filling my house with twinkle lights everywhere, even not during the season is really important for my heart to just survive the darkest darkness.
I love that. Well, I have some snoring comfort items behind me.
Yeah,
Chris joining the podcast today.
he's so cute.
He's dreaming of sugar plums at the moment, but he's back there. Bogart's back there too, but you can't see him at the moment. But they are obsessed with the Christmas lights, and so
Aw.
they tend to gravitate toward my office couch so that they can sit next to the Christmas tree, or go to sleep next to the tree. My comfort, I did, of course, bring food, because who would I be if I did not bring food, is this hash brown casserole that I made. And I make it only twice a year, typically, unless the kids have like a brunch at school or something, in which case they usually beg me to make it and I do. But typically I make this casserole twice a year, and there are two casseroles that we make. I do a hash brown casserole, add bacon and seared green onions because, I'm extra.
That sounds amazing.
So good. So, so good. So that is my legitimate definitely my favorite comfort food, I think. But and then the other one is a French toast casserole with raspberries on top. And we do this for the morning after Thanksgiving and the morning after Christmas.
Oh,
Or the morning of Christmas, sorry, Christmas morning.
okay.
So that way I don't have to do the whole giant meal the day after the Thanksgiving feast. And that way I don't have to do more cooking the day of Christmas, which is when we have our traditional meal that the girls somehow over the last, I don't know, 5 or so years, the girls have taken to having this one meal. And now every year on Christmas, we have it. Because they started requesting it after the first year we had it, and it was like, let's do this. We don't splurge on having steak very often here, like a really good steak, and so Christmas we always have a really beautiful steak. I do roasted acorn squash. I do southern green beans, which of course I am not southern at all, so that's kind of hilarious to me. And then we do what am I missing? Homemade mac and cheese. And
Ooh.
then
You
for
know what?
hmm,
I've been there at your house for a Christmas dinner,
you might have.
and that steak was actually one of my top 5 steaks of my entire life, Jenna.
Really? Oh my
It
gosh,
was so good.
so honored. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do like,
That was one of my Christmas bitch years.
oh, you know what? I am vaguely recalling this now, but I don't think it's Christmas bitch years. I think it's like post traumatic like stress from just divorce. It's like
Yep, yep,
we'll call it post traumatic seasonal disorder.
yep. Keep talking, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna step away because I do have some comfort food I wanna share. But I'm
Okay. I want to know,
listening.
but I also need to take a bite of this because I
Do it.
hung back from eating this morning knowing that we were gonna have this because it's so fun, and of course, now I'm, like, mildly hangry, so this
I
episode
mean,
fun.
can you hear me just clanking away?
Yes, it sounds like Santa's coming down your chimney.
He is, and he's bringing me delicious food. It is like, I mean, the timing of our recording, it is post-Thanksgiving, so I do have Thanksgiving leftovers, and
Yeah,
I'm
we are
I'm gonna
recording for those who think that I've had this casserole in the fridge for way too long, it is actually Thanksgiving week that we're recording this, which is why in a minute, I'm gonna jump to a holiday injury report that I have from Thanksgiving. Um,
Yes. Okay, so what is the hash brown casserole, is that your favorite of all time food, or is there something else?
well, I have a lot of all-time favorite foods.
Like for
This has become one of my favorites just because it's not just how comforting it is also the fact that I prep it in advance, and so it allows me to kind of sit for a little while when I would typically be on my feet in the kitchen making even more food for everyone, and so I just throw it in the oven, um, and that prep really kind of just allows me some relaxation, which is so rare, so hard to come by.
this is true.
Yeah. Okay, what did you I'm, like, very curious what's happening. There's a whole production happening. I hope you leave all of these clanks and
I plan to. There's no editing that happens on this podcast. I mean, literally no editing. Except for last week, I accidentally posted the episode with our like ending commentary after Barkley got off the call. So then I had to go back and take it out and then re-upload it.
my
So
I
that's a
can only imagine what we were saying.
we were just like, she's so great. It was really cute. But like nobody needs to hear us like recapping the episode. Okay, so what I have here is dressing. It's not stuffing if you don't actually stuff the bird, and I just learned this. So
Okay.
I've been calling it stuffing my whole life, and it's never been from the inside of a bird, so it's a dressing, and I'm correcting myself on that now, but it's an awesome recipe, and I've been making it since 2009. It's basically like the store-bought, like, stovetop stuffing brand,
Yeah.
not that we're sponsored, we're not, unless you want to call us stovetop, we'll definitely be
Right,
talking you up.
we're in.
But yeah, so it's that plus like a few other things like roasted onions chopped up and my favorite and most unexpected MVP of my holiday season, roasted chestnuts. Because I mean, I'm always like,
I'm a huge fan.
we sing about it every year and I've never had one of these things. And so in 2009, I was like, I'm gonna have one and I'm gonna make it in something. And I found this recipe with roasted chestnuts and it rocks my world every year. And when you brought out that casserole, I got hungry. So here we are.
Love roasted chestnuts so much, and I grew up having them because I grew up going to New York for auditions, and there were
Mm,
like, there's obviously hot dog stands on all the street corners and stuff. There are also in the winter roasted chestnut stands, and there's a very particular smell that they have that just reminds me of New York at Christmas, and
yes.
it's a really beautiful, magical feeling that that gives me. And years ago, somebody made a roasted chestnut stuffing. I call it stuffing because even if it doesn't go in the bird, I grew up on the East Coast and that's what we called it. And I believe that dressing is what you put on a salad. And I think I said that in our in one of our other past
You
episodes.
sure did. You
I'm
sure did.
just gonna reiterate my little big feeling on that. And so it is stuffing in my house, but
Well, it's stuffing me. Like I'm stuffed after I eat it.
counts. That counts. Doesn't it? Yeah. So I made this roasted chestnut stuffing and I loved it. I was obsessed with it. And now I did not make that this year because it takes a lot of ingredients and it's from scratch. And I just, everything that I make for Thanksgiving and Christmas are from scratch. But this year, I just didn't have the stamina to be on my feet any longer than I already was. So,
Well, because you had a
yeah.
big ordeal happen that I'm just dying to talk about, by the way.
Okay, yes. So here's the deal. And this is probably why I ended up taking a sip of the wine a little earlier than the toast.
Yeah, and also maybe, like, don't eat it if you're gonna talk about this unless you're not squeamish. I take another bite before we start talking about it, and then I'm not gonna.
Yes, yes. Fair warning. If you're eating right now, you may want to just put a pause on that, a little intermission while while I give my holiday injury report. So when was it? It was Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. So Wednesday, I was off from work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving, and I planned to do all of my cooking Tuesday night, Wednesday, anything that could be prepped in advance, like the hash brown casserole for Friday morning and all that kind of stuff. Did all of that stuff in advance as much as possible. And so while I was still working on Tuesday, I said to my girls, "Hey, do you mind going down to the pantry and grabbing my food processor for me?" They were like, "Sure, mom, no problem." Love that, right? I mean, they're 13 and 11, so they can handle going down to the pantry and getting a food processor. We thought until apparently, Marlo's my youngest, picked up the part of the food processor with the blade and dropped the blade on her foot. And the blade sliced her toe open. And she came upstairs and said, Gray was like, "Mom, this is like a bug you during work kind of thing." And I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" And Marlo comes around the corner and she's like, "My toe is bleeding." So we staunched the blood and I had her sit down and I looked at it. And the second I looked at it, I knew she was gonna need stitches. One, because it's the toe, and, that's just too easily broken back open again, unfortunately. We did make a minor pit stop at the urgent care because there's one not far from us, and it's much closer than the hospital. And, I stopped in and I said, "I have a feeling this needs stitches, but can you verify before I make the trip across town?" And they were like, "Yep, you're right, but we're gonna go ahead and bandage it up for you so that she can get into the hospital more easily." And, yeah, and so we had a fun little ER trip on Tuesday,
Oh,
and she got 4 stitches in her toe. So much for those ice skating plans we had this week.
damn!
I know, but we did get to go see Wicked the next day because she was able to prop her foot up, and we saw it in 4DX, which
What how was that?
I was crazy. I've never experienced it. It was like being in a 3-hour roller coaster, basically, and I didn't vomit, so that's the good part. I didn't get sick.
Not over the toe and not over Wicked.
Right, I wasn't green in the face as Elphaba, so I made it happen. Yeah, so that was kind of an exciting, eventful little aspect of our Thanksgiving that I hope does not repeat itself at Christmas time. And for the record, I will never ask her to bring the food processor upstairs for me again.
Yeah, I think
Thought it
she's
was such
lost
an
her food processor privileges.
I thought it was such an innocent ask, and it turned out that it was not. I felt terrible.
I mean, the kids, they can just find a way to make anything that you don't think is a problem problematic.
Yeah, I mean, I really did think it was gonna be an easy little thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad she's okay. That would have been really awful if it didn't turn out so nice at the end.
Yeah, and we still got to enjoy her entire Thanksgiving, and she got to milk it to the extreme and ask for people to bring her things for about, 4 hours before the rest of us were like, "Okay, we're done. Get it yourself, you can walk."
Yeah.
But it's amazing to me how, like, holiday cooking turned into a contact sport suddenly. It was not.
I think that's not uncommon though. So many people find ways to injure themselves during cooking of
I was
Thanksgiving food.
honestly shocked that the ER was not slammed. We got in and out of there pretty quickly relative to what I expected given that it was a day or 2 before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yes, so good times, good times.
Wow. Okay, so that sounds like holiday chaos for sure. Any other crazy holiday
Well,
chaotic vibes?
I mean, I don't know if there are specific stories that I have about chaotic holidays are always chaotic, right? But for me, it's more like the built-in chaos of getting everything festive and set up. And this year, I will be honest, is the first time Michelle and I were saying this to each other the other night. It's the first time that it's felt really calm. And I almost hate to put that out in the universe. I'm afraid
Knocking on some wood, throwing some
we
soap,
already had a trip to the ER universe. It's covered. The karma's there. We got
yep,
it.
nothing more.
But yeah, usually I'm going up in the attic and my back is hurting and my knees are on fire and I'm doing a million runs up and down to get all the Christmas stuff down. And this year, Ashley, the kids did it. We're there.
This is why you have kids right here.
We're officially there. They did it. They brought everything down. I don't even know what to say. I'll tell you what I did. I sat here and I wrote a script.
And that's when you were on fire with your writing because I was texting you and you're like, I'm
Yes.
so inspired. I cannot
I
wait
was
to hear more.
so inspired. I can't wait for you to read it. I was so inspired and I wrote a Christmas movie that so help me God if this doesn't get on Hallmark. I don't know. I don't know what. So while I did this, the girls were like, "Well, can we get everything down?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, just make sure if, and I've got boards up there and it's safe." And I was like, "Just make sure that if it's a heavier tub that I come help." And they asked me a couple of times to like help them get a few, but they decorated this tree for me in my office.
Oh,
They
they did
decorated
such a good job.
no. And I just was like, "Okay, this is the moment your children become useful." Like you
Yeah.
just then it when they can take everything down and and they cleaned up after themselves, which is I don't
Yep.
even know what to say about this. I feel like
It's a Christmas
it
miracle.
is a fucking Christmas miracle. Yep. And my back and my knees since they've entered their villain era are really grateful. Like bless them. They they really seriously helped out this year. I was super impressed and everything felt really calm and there was only a minor amount of bickering, which is I think, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. I am impressed. I feel like that's maybe new holiday tradition. The girls do the work
it
and
is.
you get to enjoy.
It definitely is. Believe it is. And little do they know they're putting it all away too when it's over. Yeah, yeah. They've just signed on for eternity.
If you make a mess, you clean it up. That's the rule.
That's right. That's right. But no, and to be fair too, I was knee deep in cooking. It allowed them to go ahead and get Christmas up and make it look like Christmas threw up in the house early, which means we get to appreciate it longer, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And B, it allowed me to keep going and not burn anything while I was trying to orchestrate Christmas chaos along with cooking chaos,
Yep. Yep.
They got to
It's
merge.
a lot to manage.
It is. Like nobody being Julie Cruise director at the holidays is its own beast, you know?
It's so true. Okay, well, that's a great new tradition. Are there any old traditions? Because I have some things that I want to talk about tradition wise, but I want to hear about yours first because I feel like you've got a good one.
Yeah, we have a couple of things. The night before Christmas, we always have a big gift under the tree that the girls open that is a set of matching pajamas for all of us and a treat of some sort. In the past, it might be a special hot cocoa, it might be chocolates, it might be, who knows. And then I think last year I might have done like, my family is originally from Germany, and so I think I did, like, a bunch of German treats.
Krampus?
Yeah, not cramping. And then usually there's an activity of some sort, so, like, a movie to watch or something like that, and it gives us all a chance to just sort of, like, get cozy together, sit down and munch on something and watch a movie or do an activity together as a family. So that's typically, and then I grew up with a lot of traditions, one of them being that we got an ornament every year, and so I still try to keep that intact.
That's such a fun one because I feel like whenever the kids get to open their like the box of ornaments from the years past, they're like, "Oh, I remember this one," and it's just so fun.
But yeah. And then, of course, we do the elf on the shelf.
Yes.
It's traumatizing.
Are you okay, I know that I'm pretty sure both of your girls are not believers anymore.
No, Marlo is a born again believer. She has decided that she's not willing to give up the magic, and so she has asked very pointedly for us to hide the Santa paper
Yeah.
her and all of that kind of stuff so that she can hold on to the magic as long as possible. And I respect that. That's fine.
Yes. Yep.
So Gray and I like stay up with hot cocoa and wine. I'll let you decide which one is which. And we watch Hallmark movies and we rap.
Love
That's
it.
kind of our thing. Yeah.
That's
Um,
sweet.
yeah, but they're no, but both of them know that yes, they know. They both know. Inside Marlo knows. She's just not willing to go there.
Yeah, Wyatt had a very denial Christmas one
Mm.
year as well. It was maybe 2 years ago. Um, the previous Easter, I fucked up and I left some Easter basket stuff out in my room, and he just walked in and, "Oh my god, there's my Easter basket. What's going on?" And
Mhm.
I said, "Oh, I'm the Easter bunny. Sorry." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm the Easter bunny." And he was like, "That like, just for us though, right? Like, you're not the Easter bunny for the rest of the world." Like, he was like he really thought I was hopping around to houses to,
You
like
are literally the
yeah,
most
yeah.
epic mother ever. You're
And then
delivering Easter baskets to every child across the country.
I said, "No, like, that's up to parents, like, each parent does it for their own house." And then I just said, like, "I mean, while we're destroying your illusions, this also applies to Santa." He he was like, "I'm sorry, what?" It, like, did not compute for him, and he was like, "Mom,
Ashley.
first of all, you could not afford that." And I was like,
That's funny, that's what Marlo said to me too, and I'm like, "What
"Oh
is
my
it about, like,
god."
children mathing and, like, budgeting in their heads about."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Just don't go there." I didn't think
yeah,
about that when I was a kid. I am the oldest of 4 children, and I never thought twice about what my parents might or might
yeah,
not have been spending on
yeah.
everything under the tree, right?
Isn't that
And, like,
crazy?
what
They
is
just do they care now.
yeah, I didn't care at all. Just give me my
Yeah,
fucking Wonder Woman underoos and let's go.
that's right. Yeah, so he was very much in denial that year, and so we kept it going, and the elf on the shelf thing continued, and I just was like, "Well, I guess he's choosing to believe regardless, so we're just gonna go with it." But then I got tired after 2 years of, like, knowing that he knew the truth, but just wanted me to, like, keep going, and so this year I was like, "Bud, I'm not doing all that."
Yeah, I feel like, this is Marlo's last year of elementary school. So once she's in middle school, I feel like I
Yeah,
have to put the kibosh on the entire situation with that. And again, she knows for a fact. Like she'll sit there and say, "Listen, I know, but I am choosing not to,"
yeah.
which is totally fine. I'm sure it's that's going to cause some therapy later. But I get it. And listen, it's fun for me. I love the magic.
Yeah,
I embraced the magic for as long as possible. I'll tell you, there is the saddest story ever for me. And I might have told this story last year in season 1. So if I'm being redundant, don't fucking come at me on the in the thread here about it.
to our one listener.
Just suck it up and listen to it again and be like, "Oh, it's, she's getting old and forgetting shit." And
But did we even do a Christmas episode in season 1? No,
I have no idea.
we didn't.
I
We
have no
didn't.
idea. Okay, so then maybe I've never told this story. But again, if I have, just keep it to yourself. It's fine. Let it go. Yeah, so my brother, Tyler, he's the youngest, and I'm nearly 11 years older than him. There's a very big gap between us and two,
Yeah.
two kids in between. And so obviously for years and years and years, I was helping my mom with Christmas. And then my brother and sister knew, and it was, the three of us knew, and Tyler was still believed because he was still so much younger, and we all encouraged that magic as long as possible. And at some point he came home from school and he was pissed. And that's understatement of the year. Pissed. And he like slammed his bedroom door and he's in there crying. And we're all like, what is going on? And later on, my mom found his letter to Santa ripped up in his trash can. And just the thought of this kind of just wounds my heart in a big way.
Yeah.
She found the ripped up letter to Santa and he had heard from a child at school, wait, you still believe in Santa? And he was like, what? And they were like, oh my God, you think Santa's real? You still think he's real? And my brother was like, no, 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 I was just kidding. I was totally kidding about it. And he came home and he was like, you all lied to me. You lied to me. And he ripped up that letter to Santa and he threw it in his trash can. And I will never forget the pain that caused because we were like, "No, we just wanted you to believe in the magic as long as you could. It's such a beautiful thing to believe." And man, but that hurt. That hurt all of us,
Yeah.
you know.
Man, do you that's a horrible way to find out too because, like, at that point, I'm sure he just felt like, "Why
He
am
felt
I the last one to
betrayed.
know?"
Right, he felt
Yeah,
betrayed. He felt that we had all kept this secret from him and he was the one that odd man
that's
out.
so
I know,
sweet.
it's terrible, but also nobody needs to go to college believing in Santa. It's like,
This is true.
there's a lot of a lot of chaos ensues when you go to college believing in Santa.
Yeah. Did you find out in a certain way, or do you not remember how you found out? Because I remember the exact moment that I found out.
You would think for someone who loves the magic as much as I do that I would remember. I don't have any recollection of this. The only thing I remember is just my mom, and I used this with Gray when she found out too. And God bless her, she didn't tell me for like 2 years because she didn't want to ruin the magic for me by telling
She's
me.
so sweet.
I
That's
know.
so sweet.
But I remember that my mom spun it as, how cool is this? Now you get to be Santa with me. And I did that for Gray too. I was like, well, how amazing is this? We get to do this together now, and we do. We've been doing it
Yep,
together ever since. It's
sweet.
something that we love to bond over together. Uh,
Yeah. I did that with Charlotte. She took over Elf on the Shelf that year, and it was amazing because Elfie did all kinds of things that I was unprepared for, and it was exciting for me too.
Listen, the Elf on the Shelf thing, I knew this was gonna be this is like one of my talking points that I have for this episode because we cannot get through a Christmas episode about big fucking feelings without talking about
Seriously.
Elf on a Shelf with Jess. Gray has taken over. I'll tell you what, I was exhausted last night and I went to bed so, so early, and I never do that. And I've been staying up till 1 in the morning with her the last couple nights wrapping because, yes, I Christmas shop in July
Yes.
in a minute. And so we're already wrapping and getting things ready so that I don't have to stress closer to the end of the year because Q4 is such a bitch for me at work.
Yep. Yep.
And I love it. I love it. So I'm not complaining at all. It's just, it's just a very heavy time of year and there's so much going on that I have to spread it out or I'll go insane. And nobody wants their mom in an asylum on Christmas. Uh,
No.
let's skip that. So, yeah, so she last night I went to bed early and I woke up this morning in a panic. So I was like, even though I know Marlo knows, I woke up in a panic, like, oh fuck, I forgot to move the elf on the shelf. And I came up here and lo and behold, she had handled it for me. And listen, I'm in. I'm in because those elves are more trouble than they're worth. Truly.
I do like the sentiment behind them. I love Elf on the Shelf. I really truly do. I really truly do. I think that maybe it started out being much simpler than Pinterest has turned it into.
Yeah,
And that's where the problem is because like now Elfie's just got to top himself every year. And how many more pieces of food and
it's like
cute little decorations can he do? Like
it's like
really?
keeping up with the Joneses, right? It's like the 1-year-old birthday party when the neighbor throws the carnival for the 1-year-old who's never gonna remember it, and then the
Yes.
next neighbor is like, "Well, shit, I'm gonna have to do a petting zoo." Like, what at some point, how far do we go with this?
Yeah, we don't go far anymore. I'm just gonna show you mine are just now hanging out on this cute little Christmas tree back there.
I love this. Yeah.
And I've got them, like, strapped to it so they can't move or fall, and that's where they live now.
Nice.
And I don't have to think about it, but they're with us, and they see everything.
I love it. Mine are, I believe, currently in the bathroom, dangling from
Okay.
the shower curtain.
Love that. I remember the first year I put them in the bathroom, and Wyatt was like, "I mean, they're gonna see me in the nude." Yeah, but it's okay, they've seen it already.
Don't give them something to tell Santa about.
I know, right? Modesty. Yeah, he didn't shower that day.
God. Yeah, I just think that whole elf on the shelf thing, like the pressure to be whimsical at 11 p.m. is when I can barely function and just go to sleep is insane, you know? And like I love to be creative about things, uh, but that can be so labor intensive on a nightly
Yep,
basis. And the
yep,
pressure to have to do that when the kids believed was a totally different thing. So it's a much more calm and easy situation now that they're old enough to know and help and
yeah.
all the things. It is helpful in ways that I didn't even expect because, for example, Gray uncovered a tub of Christmas gifts that I forgot about from last year. Well,
Well, that's a classic mom move,
yeah, oh yeah,
especially, like, those who shop early. I feel like that happens to people like you more than people like me who are last minute buyers.
because that is and this is exactly why I was going to bring up the shopping in July thing. It's a blessing and a curse, as I said it during the intro, because the blessing side of it is that you're done, right? I'm done early. We can wrap. I'm not thinking about it in the couple of weeks leading up to Christmas when stores are at the height of their chaos. However, I then tend to hide those things so well that not even I can find them. And so Gray's up there and she's like, Mom, there's this tub of gifts. And I was like, okay. So I go up and I look and I'm looking through, I'm like, I don't remember buying any of this. And I stumbled upon there were two things that let me know that it was from another year. And it, mind you, could have been before last year. It might have been the year before.
My
I don't
word.
could have been from 2 years ago. I have no clue. So because that's how crazy busy my attic is, by the way. Yes, I'm aware of like how much that tells you about the state of my attic. But there were two things. One was there was like I had clearly gone to TJ Maxx and there was like a fun little like chocolate covered toasted coconut bag of something that I knew my kids would love. So I had that but the expiration date was March of this year. So I'm like, how long ago must that have been? The other thing, and this is what really got me and made me laugh, is that there was like a little thing that you hang in your car. And it was a little mirror ball with a little attachment that says, in this car, we only listen to Taylor's version. Well, Taylor's versions are now owned by her. So this had to have been before she got had the ability to purchase
Yeah,
all of her own stuff. So, yeah, that's how long I've
Jenna,
dated it. Yeah, that's good stuff.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Are you able to repurpose any of those things, or are they all too, like,
I mean,
all
I
too
don't
old, too grown out?
yeah,
What are you gonna do?
a couple of the little things in there are totally doable. And Greg was like, "You should absolutely wrap this and put it in our stockings, please." And I'm like, "I will."
Yeah.
But then there's like, the thing like the Taylor's version, it's worthless at this point I'm not gonna hang that in the car. But then again, I don't know that I would have hung it in the car in the first place. I'm not really like a something hanging on my mirror in the car kinda gal. So, who knows what I was planning on doing it.
Maybe it was for someone else.
No, I thought but I feel like we can use it as an ornament though and just backdate it a little bit, and it can be a time and place memory sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I see that, and also now it comes with the story of Gray remembering, "I found this in the
Exactly.
attic." That's sweet.
Golly gosh,
That's
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah. But of course the food items got thrown out because they've expired and nobody needs that. So
Well, yeah.
we dumped. But yeah, it's been an interesting one already.
Yeah. Do you have any Okay, 'cause I'm gonna confess that I have a secret holiday dream that I've never shared with anyone ever in the history of
It's
my
appropriate for
existence.
the podcast.
I think it is, yeah, it's appropriate, but do you have anything like that that you've, like, because I think, we share a similar heartbeat in that we are Christmas people. I start listening to Christmas music in, like, September, like, I'm one of those freaks. it just makes me feel cozy and happy, and that's about the time that I need a little pick me up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where Michael Bublé's Christmas comes in, or John Legend. He's got the best album. Just
The
saying.
Pretty Purple Snowflakes is kind of one of the funniest songs. We listen to it in this house and just, like, half make fun of it, but half no one wants to admit that they love it kind of thing.
It's so good. I just love it. I just love it. But that's not my secret. My secret is that I really, really someday want to be Mrs. Claus. Like, I just do.
Do you really?
Like, I want to be Mrs. Claus either at a mall or in some cheesy Christmas movie or something. Like, I want to be Mrs. Claus.
Okay, well, I'm putting a cameo appearance in my movie for you to be a Mrs. Claus. I'm gonna figure it out.
Stop, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna
Figure this
cry.
out. Maybe
Can
it's
okay, wait, maybe I have a scene for you
okay,
because this happened to me in real life and this is what inspired me to want to be Mrs. Claus. Okay.
okay, do
Do
tell.
you remember Opry Opryland Hotel? And what is that hotel called? Is it Opryland Hotel?
Orlando Hotel, uh-huh.
Okay. So that's a very beautiful hotel and at Christmas they always go all out.
Oh,
But like 10-ish years ago, they went extra all out. They had an elf on the shelf like scavenger hunt and it was epic. Like the elves were everywhere in the hotel and you got a map and you got to mark down and if you found them all, you got a free cookie or a hot chocolate or something.
no way.
Along with that, they had this huge ballroom, like, they combined, like, 16 ballrooms or something, it was a massive space. There was a train, there was an ice skating rink, there was a spot where Santa's sleigh existed, there was a reading nook where Mrs. Claus would read to the children, and then there were all these fun little activities, you could make an ornament, you could do all kinds of stuff, and, like, they do it big and cool now, like, there is still the ice rink and, like, there's a bobsledding, whatever, but you have to pay for all that, and this was free. It was free. And so I was just so enamored with it all, and we would just go, like, on a weekly basis because I loved it so much. And once Mrs. Claus was reading, and she finished reading her book, and she was just kind of mingling around and we just watched her, and then she's walking up to Santa, and they just had a moment, and it was like, I know that they were married in real life, I just know it. And,
You
like,
bought it hook, line, and sinker.
well, no, but they were, like they were so sweet together, and then he just gave her a little pat on the butt, and they walked away, and I just thought,
I almost just spit out my wine. If they weren't married, somebody call HR.
no, they were definitely married, and they were the cutest little married couple, the best Santa, the best Mrs. Claus. She read books, like, with passion, and I mean, Jenna, it was the most magical experience of my life. In that moment, I was 32 years old, and I was like, "Santa's real, and that's him, and that's his wife." Like, I just believed
I
it.
love that. I'll tell you what, I had the pleasure, truly the absolute pleasure of interviewing her name is Pat Cook, and it was for a Style Blueprint article that came out a few weeks ago, so you can go read it, but there is a Santa Claus, Indiana,
Yes, I've been there.
and she is Mrs.
Wait, that's where
Claus.
Holiday World is.
Yes, and her family created Holiday World. She is one of the integral
Oh my
people who
god.
is responsible for Holiday World, but has been her dad, Jim, was the Santa Claus of Santa Claus, Indiana for years, and he started the whole thing there in that he was in the war, and he was 19, and he was in the engine room, and someone I'm really paraphrasing here, but basically they brought these kids onto the ship to give them gifts, and they realized they didn't have a Santa, and they went down, they knew he was from Santa Claus, Indiana, so they was like, "We have someone from Santa Claus, we'll just get him." And so he was 19, and he fell in love with the kids' response to him as Santa, and he
Yeah.
went back to Santa Claus, Indiana, and he discovered that the postman there, the postmaster, was getting just thousands of letters from kids because they were dressed as Santa Claus, and they would go to Santa Claus, Indiana, they would come through the post. So he began helping the postmaster filter these letters through, and now she carries on this family legacy.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. I'm gonna cry.
It's so wonderful. She's so wonderful. It was precious. She's in her 90s. She's like 90, and talking to her was really so beautiful. And she was like, "It's snowing outside and I had to have my daughter follow me over here, but I really wanted to do so that I wouldn't get in an accident, but I wanted to do this interview." And I was just so enamored with her and so enamored with the whole story of how it all came about. And I just so talk about being Mrs. Claus. She has literally
Yeah,
50 something years. It's crazy.
that's a heroic role.
And
My
they
goodness.
insert every letter that they can. Now, there are obviously going to be exceptions, letters where people don't actually put a return address or whatever. And
Sure,
there's
sure.
only there's a ton of Smithvilles, I'm sure, in the United States, so they can't
Yeah.
necessarily get it there. But if there's any possible way they can respond, they respond, and it's. I just think it's so beautiful. It's such a that
Wow.
to me is like a little dose of Christmas magic that everyone needs. So,
Yep.
um,
That's the stuff I love. Like, give me more of that in the world. Like,
yes,
we
exactly.
need so many people to be whimsical and just embrace it. We
Yes,
just do. Yeah.
totally agree. And like for Pete's sake, make good Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
What Christmas
Fucking
cookie
make some Christmas cookies. Jeez.
like, right, for the love of God, make some Christmas cookies. What Christmas cookies do you make?
Okay, there's like a mocha chocolate crinkle cookie with like powder,
You
like
can feel free to send a few to
powdered sugar.
my house when you make them.
You know, I haven't because of my Christmas bitch season, I haven't, like, gotten into the cookies as much as I used to, but, like, I dated a guy who wasn't great in high school, but his mom was just an amazing baker, and her kitchen was epic. She's the reason that I want a garbage, like, compactor in my life, like,
No,
I know, but it's
what,
like the
actually, I'm
thing.
gonna get you one for Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Like, I know that I have made it in life when I have a trash compactor, like, it's stupid to want that, but for, like, 30 years, that's what
Now,
I've
like,
wanted.
not an incinerator kind of trash compactor, but like an actual trash can with a compactor.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Like, you it pushes it down and makes it into cute little box, and then you just take that.
it. Mhm, mhm.
That's what I want in life more than anything. That and no, it's just that. It's just that.
I love the things I learn about you on a weekly basis.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, so she was a great baker, and she taught me how to bake all these cookies, and we would just give them out every year to families as, like, the Christmas gift from her, and I got to help contribute to that a few times, and, oh, it was so fun. It was so fun.
I love that. Yeah, we had Christmas cookies we absolutely grew up making. Some of them which I've never repeated, not because they're not delicious, but because they're so labor intensive and I am not a
They are, yeah. It takes weeks sometimes to, like, get it all together.
can't like I love making anything savory. I'm there. But when it comes to cookies, like Gray's got it down. So Gray has kind of sparked the creativity of baking in this house. Thank God, because I definitely don't have that in me. It does not. That is not part of my Christmas magic. But we do every year make like kiss cookies, that have
Mm,
surprise Hershey's Kip.
you have given me some of those before, they are delicious.
They are really good. And then we do these things called tinglings. Now, I don't know what they're actually called. This is what I grew up calling them, so I don't know. And they've got like chow mein and nuts and stuff, and it's covered in like a butterscotchy chocolate. It's
Ooh.
also delicious. They look like little birds' nests. They're very pretty.
Oh, I think they are called bird's nests some by some people, because 'cause
Maybe.
I've had those before as well, but I like tingling way better.
Yeah, and then my mom, who will inevitably kill me for telling this story, but thankfully she doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's fine, has, a sugar cookie recipe that has been passed down through the years. And when I was old enough to move out on my own and my brother and sister had moved out on their own and we were all kind of collaborating on the Christmas cookie thing, and my sister was baking at her house while I was baking at my house, while my brother was baking at his house, and we're all like passing things back and forth and calling each other with little, tricks of the trade and stuff, which is super fun. We try to do that kind of thing every year if we can, and really just put the Christmas memories back out there in any way possible. All of a sudden, it dawns on us that my mom has sent us this recipe, which she has typed out on the computer that she, probably did like use one finger typing on because parents of that generation are so technologically advanced. And she had sent this recipe, and there was an ingredient missing in the sugar cookies. And would you like to take one guess what that ingredient was?
Betting it's the sugar.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is. And so I took red Sharpie, a big red Sharpie, and wrote sugar cookies. And they've been called the unsugar cookies ever since. We do the record. They have been the unsugar cookies for probably 2 decades now.
I love that. That's sweet.
Oh, yeah, so we do the cookies every year. We also distributed them as children throughout the neighborhood and to teachers and all that kind of stuff, and unfortunately, in some cases, we would get some in return, and I feel like some families just know how to do it right, and other families really don't, and we had these neighbors growing up, and they made the absolute worst Christmas cookies I've ever had in my life. Like, you could throw it against the wall, and it would stay intact. That's a problem.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
yeah. That's a problem for sure.
How were they eating them?
Very carefully, I bet.
Right. Not without a trip to the dentist and
Yeah. With a protective headgear situation,
right.
like a mouth guard.
Like, right after they signed on for the next year of insurance through their dentist.
They meet their deductible every year, though.
Yeah, uh-huh,
Yes,
mhm.
they do. That's something to be proud of. I think your thoughts about, like, people doing cookies wrong is reminding me of, like, just the whole like, why do people hate fruitcake, and have you got big fucking feelings about fruitcake? Because I I think that I've understood that fruitcake is no bueno, and so I've never, like, allowed myself to try it.
So the fruit cake that I've had is called Stollen, and it's German. I grew up on it. My grandparents immigrated from Germany in the early and this was one of those things at Christmas. Some of my best strongest memories of my grandparents are at Christmas time, whether at their house or at ours, because there there are really just some German foods that came out during that time that really didn't come out the rest of the year, and Stollen was one of them. And I'm probably mispronouncing it, by the way. Also good that my dad doesn't listen to this podcast, or um, and it is like a fruit cake, at least as far as I understand fruitcake. It is like a bready, sweet-ish actual bread, though, with, maraschino cherries and shit in it, and nuts, and all of that sort of thing. And I just remember my grandmother toasting it and putting butter on it, and giving it to me as a child. And so it's a very nostalgic taste for me. Now, do I love it? Do I want to go out and buy Stollen or fruitcake right this very moment? Probably not. There's also these little cookies that I remember, Pfeffernussen, I think they're called. And I don't even know how to, it's almost like a gingerbread, but it's not. And I, by the way, do not speak German. I have this sneaky suspicion because my children are home right now and Gray is in her bedroom, which is within earshot, that she is probably in her bedroom with her eyes shut, like, oh, mom, you've just butchered that because is she does speak some German and she's really good at it, and I can't pronounce German to save my life. French, yes. Spanish, yes. Italian, yes. German, no. That's where
Great.
I fall.
She'll let you know gently later, I'm
Well, I'm
sure.
sure. Yes, I'm sure. Tonight we'll be watching that Hallmark movie and rapping, and she'll be like, "By the way, mom,
Yes.
I did overhear that part of your podcast. Thanks for throwing me under the bus, and also that sounded terrible." But yeah, so just some really cool things that I remember from growing up that we had that were very traditional German sweets more than anything, around Christmas time that I really just haven't had since.
Yeah. That's kind of I don't know. I like the memories that surround I think you probably do too, obviously, like food and flavors. And it's like as soon as you have it, even if it's not necessarily like good, but like it's what you had growing up or it was connected
Yeah,
to a certain core memory, like you're just instantly taken there. And there's only a few things in life that can do that. And flavor is one and music is the other, I think.
yeah.
And smell, definitely smell also.
It's
But
an invisible string to your childhood or an invisible, tinsel garland to your childhood in this case, right?
there you go.
Yeah, and I do, I have to bring that back. But yeah, I just there are some things like that that I miss terribly. I remember my grandparents used to keep a bowl of nuts that you'd have to crack. You'd have the nut cracker, you'd
Yes.
have to crack
Yes.
on their on they celebrated the December 6th St. Nicholas holiday. So that as there we did the whole leave your boot out and it gets filled with fruit.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Some years I remember, some years I don't, most years I don't. But, some years we've done that too, just to kind of bring that back. But Maybe I'll try to remember to do that this year, but
It's 1 week from today.
it is. I really when we get off of here, I'm gonna see if I remember to write it down on my calendar because that's the only way it'll happen. What is happening at your
My
house?
dogs my dogs are harmonizing. They've been howling together lately, and this is what's happening as I'm talking. The governor,
They're
he's very dramatic. He's a COVID dog, and you leave him alone for too long, and he's just like, "My heart can't handle it. I must sing." So that's what that was.
they are legitimately singing Christmas carols in the
Yeah,
other room.
but it's sad Christmas Carol. It's like somebody's blue Christmas is what's happening.
I hate to hear
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what is your favorite Christmas song? I'm curious.
Oh, goodness. Please don't judge me.
There is no guarantee of
Okay.
there's no guarantee I will not judge.
There's some things that I find that are, like, very comforting, and I will drop everything to experience. One of them is a marching band or a parade, like, that brings me
Really?
a lot of joy, like a drum line, like, the football like, the high school near us, the football field when they're practicing in the fall, I can hear it from my house, and I just love it. Like, I will stand outside to hear it, like, I just love it.
Love this.
So with that also is bells and percussion of any kind that is unusual or not common to normal everyday music. And so the handbell is my jam, and that's why I love Carol of
Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought at first that you were going for like Little Drummer Boy.
No, I hate that song. I don't like the "Parumpa Pum Pum" line. I find it quite gritty, like grinds on my soul. Like
Yeah.
"Parumpa Pum Pum yourself away from me."
Yeah, I hear that. Well, okay, and then I guess on the same token, what's your least favorite Christmas song? Is that it?
It's either that or Christmas Shoes. I dislike the Christmas Shoes song very much. It's too sad.
I don't think I've heard that in years. I don't like there's that Joni Mitchell, It's Coming on Christmas.
Oh, I don't like that one
I
either.
don't like that one either. It's like, well, I
No.
don't wanna talk out of what? I don't know. I just can't that
Yeah.
and it really
Skip.
fucking frustrates me that people play my favorite things as a Christmas song.
It's not a
It's
Christmas
not a
song.
Christmas song just because they say brown paper packages tied up with string, like, maybe it's somebody's birthday.
Yeah. No, it wasn't
I
even
don't
Christmas when
understand.
she was singing it. It wasn't the holiday time.
No, it's from Sound of Music. Julie Andrews does the only acceptable version of that song, and it's not even remotely now I'm, like, really on my high horse here, but that it's not a Christmas song. It absolutely does not. It drives me crazy every time it comes on. It is not a
I
Christmas
agree. And truly, I skip that also if it comes on, but I don't skip Ariana Grande's sampling of it because
I don't think I've heard that.
oh, you have. And it was my theme song when I got divorced because she's like, I like it, I bought it or whatever. And I was like, that's me.
I have heard it. You're right.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my god. Well, okay, so there's this mixtape that we used to listen to. It's not even a mixtape, I guess, but it was actually it is a cassette tape, and I own it. I have it from my childhood. That I have these strong, strong memories of roller skating around the garage in the wintertime with my brother. It's cold out for us to be outside, and so we would be like roller skating around the garage.
Wait, did you pretend you were ice skating though?
Oh,
Because that's,
absolutely. Of course we did.
yeah.
And we
Okay,
would
great.
listen to this Christmas tape, and this is what we listened to every year when we put up the tree. So, every year, and this is across my entire family, my all of my siblings do that. We all do this. All of our children now listen to this tape when they put ornaments on the tree. It has gone through the generation, and it has so many great songs on it. There is a Julie Andrews song, but it came up on a midnight clear, not my favorite thing.
It's a legit
It's like a
Christmas song.
legitimate Christmas it's an
Yeah.
actual Christmas song. But Mahalia Jackson's "Go Tell It on the Mountain," let me just tell you, if I don't sing that at the top of my lungs at least once Christmas season, it ain't Christmas.
I kind of love that. That's reminding me, I'm gonna go get something and everybody can see that I'm just wearing sweatpants because this is what I
That's
live
okay,
in
you
when I'm
should
home.
be. This is why we podcast from home.
But
Are you picking the lock on your front door? What's happening?
no, I'm over here, I've got a record collection and I have this most magical record that I hope that I can find it because, oh my god, Jenna, I was 6 years old, maybe younger when I first heard this album, and didn't have it after I moved out of my parents' house. I think I don't know if my mom even has it, but it's, like, Christmas records and me, we go together, like, so well,
I totally get it. And
and
can I just say that your living room looks so peaceful and beautiful and
it is.
magical and all the Christmas things.
It is.
I wish I could come up with some better
Well,
descriptors than that right
fuck this, I don't have it? This is a problem. Okay. Well, I'll give us a runner up because this
now. And
is
we're
equally as
of us
good.
are just gonna sit here and have a sip of something while
Yeah.
searches for and I actually that reminds me that I have an album to show you too,
Ooh.
done because I also have records.
So I have way more Christmas records than I should probably, but they just have, like, a nostalgic thing for me, and I love them. Okay, this is a pretty good one too, but it's not the one that I was hoping for, but the artwork is pretty great. It's Sesame Street Christmas.
Oh my god, I thought it was like Fraggle Rock Christmas for a second there.
No, but I
God, you
do
have
love the
Sesame
Muppets. I'm obsessed with the Muppets. I like, if I ever meet Miss Piggy, I will cry. I
This
will
is
cry.
incredible.
But look at, like, this beautiful artwork and stuff, and so, a lot of times when we're listening to this, we are decorating, and then the other one that I don't have right now, which I'm, like, gonna have to go and find, it's really bumming me out that I don't have it. I'm just looking
I
because
love
I
how
don't
you're
know where else it
looking
could be.
back there like it's
I'm just like, maybe it will just, like,
here.
pop up and, like, I'll use the force and bring it to me. It's not gonna happen. But it was a Disney Christmas album, and it's so good. It's so good, that album. And you know which other album is really good? And it is the Muppets Christmas album with John Denver.
Oh my god,
That
it is
is
so good. That's the one
that is the
I
shit.
listen to.
Yes, that is
So
the
good.
shit.
Wait, give me 1 second because now I too am going to do show and tell with records. Give me a second.
Please do, please do. Like, my heart is not going to let me let this go, so I'm gonna just keep looking while you're looking because I can hear you. If you come back, I'll come back. But this is crazy, and also sorry because 'cause I'm not editing this part out, so if you don't like just hearing me look for things, you can definitely fast forward.
I have my show and tell when you're
I'm
ready.
coming, I'm coming. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Is
That's such a classic.
I know. Somebody gave this to me a few years ago, and I was just so excited. I love
I
it so
love
much.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, there's something about a record player at the holidays. I don't know if it's just, like, this generation, not that we are exactly in the same generation, but I feel like I'm an elder millennial, so I kind of get, like, the Gen X vibes as well.
Just refer to yourself as an elder millennial.
It's true, Liza Schlesinger, if that's how you say her last name, sh her comedy special about elder millennial, I was like, "Yes, girl, that's so true."
I am not a millennial, but I too am in love with records, and my kids actually have really taken to it also, and we do this thing now where for and usually I give them one at Christmas too, although I don't know that I'm gonna do that this year, but because I got them the new Taylor album earlier in the year. But I usually give them an album for a birthday, for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so they've started like a collection of, and so we've got everything from Adele and Taylor to older stuff that's been around for a lot longer. But,
Adele,
you
just
know,
love her.
yeah, some great stuff. Well, listen, like I feel like we've run the gamut today, and I do, but
We really did. We even left the screen to go and talk about other things. Like, that's how much we love Christmas. Maybe
we
we
love
should just
Christmas so
change.
much we let you see our sweatpants.
Truly, like, we have no shame. We are here for Santa and his elves. We love Christmas, and I heard it's supposed to snow in Nashville
What?
tomorrow night.
My God,
Not, like, enough to shut the city down, so don't feel like you have to go and buy a bunch of
are you
bread and
kidding me?
eggs or
Like,
whatever, but
a millimeter is enough to shut the city down.
listen, Stefano on Channel 4, he says it's not gonna be enough, but we'll have a
Well,
dusting.
I only
So
trust the Nashville severe weather guys, so that's the
damn,
I know.
just totally dissing on Stefano.
I
Cool.
don't know who Stefano is. I don't watch TV, but I will tell you that the Nashville severe weather guys, those are my dudes, man. They
They are also very
are
great.
on it.
Yeah, they're great.
They're the only ones that I trust during tornadoes and stuff like that. So that's who I go to. That's my go-to.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, here's my toast. Here's to kids who finally climb into the attic for us, and to Marlowe's brave little toe. May your elf stay where you put it. May your cookies be edible, and may your comfort food be a plenty. Merry Christmas.
Amen. Yay. All right, that was so fun.